Folks, Buffin here with your Antifa News Briefa for 2021, September 22nd. This one's just about the Russian election and just about elections in general and about kind of a big view, taking a step back. Because apparently Russia recently arrested the opposition candidates, barred all opposition candidates from running in their elections. So probably pretty scared that they're going to lose, that the will of the people is against them if you have to do stuff like that. And then the response was, I think a European organization condemned that action. So I heard about that on the news on NPR yesterday. And they said, well, what does that do for the European organization to condemn the action? It's like, well, it gives hope to the youth. It inspires youth. And that's true. I'm not knocking that. Thank you for inspiring the youth. It gets the people in Russia, hey, people are paying attention. People care about us. And people want us to have a free society where we can elect our own leaders. Hey, we want that in America too. A little attention over here. Where's our parade? But, thanks to all countries, you can help America sort out our problems so we can eventually reach democracy as well. It's not like we have a lot of room to talk, but maybe more room than Russia because they haven't locked up the opposition. Now, in America's case, we need to lock up the opposition because the Trumpers are spreading a virus and it's a terroristic genocide traitor sort of thing. But that's not the case in Russia. It's actually Putin is the one orchestrating that traitor treason thing, and it's a treason against all of humanity. They're a traitor. You're a traitor to whatever country you're in if you're spreading the virus, if you're spreading lies about the virus or spreading lies about the vaccine to try to keep people from saving their lives and saving other people's lives. So, yeah, they're traitors, but they need to be removed. But taking a step back, it made me think, when you can't elect your leaders, like the whole point of democracy is to avoid revolutions. The whole point of democracy is so you can get these incremental changes in your government so you don't have to have an overthrow. And when you don't have a good democracy, you can have an overthrow. If you have a tyrant, you can have an overthrow. If you had some benevolent ruler, I guess you wouldn't have an overthrow. But if you had a tyrant, you have an overthrow. I'm from Oz. Oz is in the future. We have a benevolent ruler. So we just do everything's out of love for Ozma. So everything's good. But anyway, point being, as it is, you have tyrants, and people will overthrow a tyrant. And if people, have a democracy in place, but they try to stay in power through tyrannical measures, which lots of people, including Putin, do, and Trump do, then, they need to be overthrown. Those tyrants need to be overthrown even within a democracy. But we haven't really had a democracy yet. As you can read in the Gospel of Judas, or in my book, the Book of Judas, that explains it, Jesus prophesied democracy for humanity and should be coming soon. We have to work for it. We have to get there. But we haven't had it before because things have been under the rule of evil powers, basically. And we'll finally have the rule of humans. Back to the stepping back from revolutions and elections. It makes you think about the Russian people. Well, if you can't get what you need in an election, you might force the people to have a revolution. And then that made me think about the Trump's election. That we did have an election here, and we had, the democratically elected President Biden, and the Trumpers were whining and butthurt about it. And then they stormed the Capitol, and they're still trying their insurrection. They're still at it in various ways. And it just made me think, have you ever had an insurrection? Have you ever had a revolution for a tyrant? We've always had revolutions against a tyrant. And then when you have a revolution against a tyrant, there may be, people who support the tyrant who are, fighting for them. But maybe in South America, America orchestrates these types of things where we put a tyrant in place. There's a revolution or an election that throws him out, and then we support like a terrorist group or whatever, an organization to promote that deposed tyrant. I don't know. Maybe it happens more often than we think. So I just kind of wanted to crowdsource some history here and just let me know in comments if you're aware of times that like a tyrant has been thrown out and then people revolt to try to get the tyrant back. Seems like kind of a new thing with Trump, but made me think it's interesting that in general you want the democracy to run well so that you don't have to overthrow things. And so when they're trying to screw up our democracy, when Putin's trying to screw up our democracy and Trump is his pawn in doing so. So Trump is trying to screw up our democracy, and all the Republicans are trying to screw up our democracy by these voting laws and crap. When they're doing that, they're trying to mess up democracy so that a revolution or something will be possible, so that a different system will be possible. Some sort of tyrant can arise, or just to destroy the country. That's, whether they know it or not, that's their goal. That's Putin's goal, and they're all working for Putin, whether they know it or not. They might just think they're working for Trump and think that's really great. Anyway, Trump's a dumbass. Trump has no idea what he's doing. He's a Putin puppet. He's working for Putin. And you can see the influence of Putin through all this stuff. He's just trying to destroy our country and Brazil and India and some other countries that he's got his puppets working in. So yeah, we've got to cut it out. But, it's like, do they want a revolution? No, we just want democracy. We want democracy back, what we had before, and we want democracy better. We want real democracy like we've never had before, where everybody really does get a vote and all the votes are counted, and we get to actually pick who we want to send up, all that stuff. So we'll get there. I mean, like I said, Jesus prophesied it 2,000 years ago. The other stuff he prophesied in the secret conversation to Judas, which you can read in the Gospel of Judas online, it's all come true, or it's all coming true right now. You can see it coming true. So we got them, but we have to believe in that and let them know with that full authority, they're wrong. That's evil to try to promote Trump virus and push this virus further and push this genocide further. So we can stop them, and we can stop them with elections, but we have to be able to have elections. So that's a very crucial issue. The fact that all these issues tie the bad guys all up into one knot should actually make it easier once we expose what that knot is and how those things are tied and interwoven. So thanks for commenting, helping do it. And yeah, just let me know if you know of any other situation where there's a revolution or an attempted insurrection to bring a tyrant back, because it seems like that always goes the other way. And it's just the amount of twisting people's minds up that they've got people saying, we need to revolt to have a tyrant, not to revolt against a tyrant. But of course, that's the Nazi propaganda. It's to turn everything inside out, to put everything on you, to say you're the one doing this when they're the ones doing it, to victimize everyone and then be the biggest whiners about how they're the victims. That's the essence of white supremacy, is to act like your privilege or your choice or your preference is more important than other people's lives. And whining about stuff like you're the only one who has the right to whine. Stop whining. We can make things better. We can work together. We got to peel people off from that Trumpism, because it's evil. And call it out for what it is. Call it out at its root. It's Putin. He has to rig his own election to stay in power. He had to rig ours to get his guy in power. Facebook helps him do it. Let's stop him. Let's get democracy. We can do it. We've got this. We can all be in it together. Thanks so much for helping. Thanks for watching. Nice to meet you. I'm Puffin. Thanks for commenting, sharing. See you soon.